Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about HiFi, and this is designed by Andre Torreya, and it is published by Smirk and Dagger. But before we talk about this groovy record, we just want to remind you to subscribe so you can see all our videos as they come out. We do reviews, we do top 10s, we do vlogs, all sorts of stuff, so make sure to subscribe.
When I was in high school, I felt like vinyl was like a kind of this underground thing, and it died away, but there's some people who are still fighting for it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like whatever they did succeeded, because now vinyl is like a cool thing instead of like an underground thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they have it at Barnes & Noble. They have like a whole spot for just vinyl records. Yeah.
Okay, so this is obviously very much in that world of vinyl records. There is a band called The Meeples, and
knee slapper.
They broke up a long time ago after making an unreleased album.
Yeah.
They're
Creative differences.
Yes.
Pull them apart.
So they're making a comeback now, 50 years later, after they broke up, and they are having us, these professional sound mixers and music producers, to kind of remix and revitalize their old album. So that is kind of the overarching theme of this game. I would say from a mechanic perspective, doesn't come necessarily through all that well, but that's what's going on here. We're mixing these records. All right, so there's a turn order track, and based on the number of players, you're going to have a certain number of turns. On your turn, you are going to move that record, which kind of acts like an action rondelle. You're going to choose your action. It's going to be able to let you draw more of these cards, as well as give you some special abilities. Then, if you have some production points that you've earned, you can spend those in order to do some special abilities. You can potentially gain some scoring cards, or you can kind of add to your equalizer buttons here. That are your dials. That way you can kind of make some more and mix some more music. And the final part of your turn is going to take one of the cards from your hand, and you're going to lay it out onto this soundboard tracks. And basically what you're doing is you're building out these sound tracks for songs. All right, so after you've placed the card, then you're going to get points based off of a couple of different parameters. How much of that particular musician's tracks you've built up over time, but also how much that particular song has been used to score points as well. That's going to gain you points. And then what's going to happen is you are going to check out to see if any special abilities have been triggered. If you are able to kind of match the flow and the volume of the song, you're going to trigger a special ability. Or if you have had two singers next to each other, you're going to be able to trigger a special ability. Or maybe if you've triggered multiple of these abilities, you're going to be able to get a special ability for that too. So it's all kinds of different things that can happen when you place your cards. You're going to try to get as many special abilities as possible to give you a leg up. All right, so at the end of the game, what you're going to do is you're going to count up all the points that you've earned from your different end game scoring cards. All the rest of the cards you can kind of keep track of as the game goes on. But then after all that, whoever has the most points wins the game.
The production of this is really, really fun. Like, they even have the rondelle action selection. You can build it in such a way where it's like in the box, so it's like an actual record that you're messing with, and everything really did a good job of imitating, at least in look, what it was trying to imitate. So it's just, the production of it is really fun. Even the rule book is absolutely hilarious. It says I can't remember what it says, book of rules or something, but it looks like...
It looks like Rolling Stones, but it says ruling book. Or
yes, something like that. And so it's just and then there's a callback the Boop. Is the Boop the next dance craze? And Smirk and Dagger publishes Boop. I don't know. I really liked how they really got into the theme of it when it came to a production thing. It's really fun to look at.
All right, so this is kind of like a reverse rondelle. Usually you have a little pawn or whatever, and you're moving along an action rondelle. This functions identically to that, except for, because of the record theming, you just have the little needle, and then you turn the rondelle itself to land on wherever the pawn, which is the needle, is. So it works exactly like a rondelle, just in reverse, which I thought was really clever and worked thematically really well. Again, it populates your hand, gives you all the cards that you need to put them onto the soundboard, but also gives you those special abilities which you're going to need in order to build up your production points, in order to swap some things out, whatever the case is.
I liked how the turn order went. So whoever had the least amount of points went first the next round. And so there's this tracker, and you're working it down round 1, round 2, round 3. So you're just easily moving the tokens over. I always like it when a game kind of keeps track of the game for me. And so I liked that aspect of it where it was really easy to keep track. Sometimes it did mean, especially in a 2-player, that somebody was taking a turn back to back. And if it weren't for that round tracker, you'd be very confused. Like, wait a second, you just went. How can you just go again? But because of that, you don't get like really muddled up in it because you can just follow that and keep playing.
There's 2 kinds of scoring cards. One of them, you're trying to, in the moment, try to adjust the soundboards in order to make sure that they scored. And it had to do with things in a certain order. And you could choose when to do them. You could wait until they were fully done, in which case you get a lot of points, but it's a little bit challenging because people can move things around, and mix things up, even if they're not trying to mess you up.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of catch them in sooner when you only have half of it done, just to get some points before it all completely goes away. So I like that you had those opportunities to score points during the game. But at the end of the game, you're also going to trigger your end game scoring cards. So basically, you're going to have all these different cards that you have been drafting, and you're kind of working towards them throughout the entire time. And maybe you want certain sounds to be higher than others, or maybe you want certain arrangements of things. Whatever the case is, all those end game scoring is going to happen at the end. So it gives you things that you're chasing kind of throughout the whole game, not just in the moment chasing them as well. There is one other thing I want to mention. There is what's they call the advanced mode. Along the side there, basically all your special abilities you can trigger when you line up your sound cards just right. Those are kind of pre-set up at the beginning of the game during the beginner mode or the normal mode. But the advanced mode is actually really cool. All those sound cards, you flip them over, they have those special abilities on the back of them. And then, as you're taking these different actions, a new one is revealed, a new one is revealed, a new one is revealed. So every time you take one of those, new stuff happens. It's constantly changing. I think it's really, really fun. It's one of my favorite parts of this game.
All right, if you notice, if you're like really, really clever, you'll be like, Bethany, you haven't talked about the gameplay at all. You mentioned things that had nothing to do with you playing the game. There's a reason for that. Because every time we played this game, I just could not wait to be done playing this game. I did not have a good time, bro. It was like, there were so many things I had to look at. There's all these different cards. And so when I'm thinking of a card that I want to draft when it came time to that, I'm like, okay, well, what order do I want these things in? Oh, but what is my scoring parameter on that? What am I trying to do? What cards do I already have? Am I trying to get a bonus? Do I need a bonus to do something else? So every single time, I'm a quick player. We're quick players. We realized this. Side note, we were playing a game that we're very used to playing with other people, and it took maybe 3 times as long to play, and that's when we discovered we're just fast gamers. I did not know that about us, but that's how we are. We want to get as many games in as possible, and I was very slow playing this game. I had to keep looking at all my cards. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted the game to be over every time we played. I thought the aesthetic of it was so fun, and the gameplay just did not come through with that. So, yeah.
I mean, I agree in the sense that I was taken out of the gameplay quite a bit, as you're checking different things. You had to check the game state over here, the cards, all the different things take you out of the state of the game, and then therefore in the mind frame of playing the game.
Yeah.
The theme was just kind of just shot at that point. Especially as a musician, I kind of wanted that to shine through a little bit, the theme to be a little bit more tied to reality.
Yeah.
Instead, it's not about being a musician, it's about being a music producer, but even so, I know how a soundboard works, I know how all that stuff happens, and it felt very more like area control on a soundboard, and I don't know, just different things are happening that didn't translate to reality as much as I would have wanted them to. It all worked, but it just kind of all felt disjuncted kind of as well a little bit.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it. The boards were really busy to look at. They all were clear.
Yeah.
Right? They were all clear.
Clean. They're very clean, but there was
just a lot to look at still.
Yes. Your eyes were bouncing from all these different boards in your cards to try to remember what you're even doing.
Yeah. I think this is a very cool idea. I love the production they put into this thing. But again, this is not a game that I think I'm going to be choosing. It's not going to be a game that I'm going to be like, I got to play HiFi right now.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here. to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.